Hello. I think if I start talking, they'll hear it from outside and they'll come on in. I hope everyone enjoyed lunch. Hope you got enough to eat. We have a full schedule this afternoon. We have some more presentations, but we also have some breakout sessions. I have brought Amanda Sonntag up to the stage with me. Unfortunately, we have another tribute. Deb Hook was our dietitian for NUCDF. She was our everything when it came to the diet. Deb passed away a few months after Cindy. It was unexpected, sudden. I talked to her 2 days before. Her loss is a huge hole in our community. We want to celebrate Deb. Just like Cindy, she would not want us to be upset. I could actually hear her laughing right now. She would want us to say how much fun she was. So Amanda and I are going to share a little bit about Deb. These are just some tributes that happened on our website after Deb passed and after we announced it. What you'll see from these tributes is that Deb was always available. Deb loved our community. She loved her dogs, but she loved our community a little bit more. Deb had a zest for life. Her laugh was infectious. I don't know that I've ever seen Deb without a big, huge grin on her face. And when it came to our community, it didn't matter the time of day. If a family reached out to me or Cindy and there was a diet issue, Deb would spring into action. From Eva, Eva wanted me to read this to you. Deb was our star dietitian. She served as NUCDF Medical Advisory Board member for over 20 years. She was a recognized expert in the nutrition care of UCDs, a keynote speaker for NUCDF here and abroad, and a passionate patient advocate, but most importantly, she was every family's lifeline. Deb worked with Dr. Bartley at Loma Linda in California. The two of them were quite a pair, just kind of like Cindy and Dr. Lee. When you saw Dr. Bartley, you saw Deb, and vice versa. And they truly fed off of each other's energy. Dr. Bartley was not able to be here today, but Dr. Bartley wanted to also convey the huge loss for him of missing Deb. But also, it was very interesting. It says a lot about Deb and Dr. Bartley. He asked me to put his personal cell phone number on our website under Deb's memorial so that any family that needed help could call him directly. I know, that says everything about both of them together. They were such a pair that if a family needed formula, they would, of course, advocate for getting the script, advocate for getting it paid for, but then they would drive it to the family's house. I talked to many families that said that Deb would show up at the house with a case of formula and then show you how to mix it and then explain how you were doing it wrong and how it needs to be done right. All of Deb's presentations at our conferences were always kind of the highlight because they were zany and goofy, a lot like her. I have something super exciting to announce, and this was Deb and Cindy's baby. They have worked on MyRareDiet for 7 years. When Cindy passed away, we did not think we needed to go into phase 2 of MyRareDiet, which is going to be a research dietary app, but also for families. This app is something that Cindy and Deb felt was something that was missing in our community. And so we did phase 1. We were working on phase 2. Cindy passed. And Cindy said to me, I do not think you're going to get phase 2 approved. I think it's going to be too big of a hurdle. And my personality is that's like a dare. So I said, okay. So Deb and I got to work, and we worked for months and months to get it approved. And we got it approved. We got phase 2 approved, and then Deb left us. And you know, the last conversation I had with her was just kind of generic about the diet app. We were talking about putting some meetings together and she was here one moment, and then she was not. And so we regrouped, we reorganized. Tony Martinez came on as our PI for this phase 2. We found Melanie Gillingham, dietitian extraordinaire, to help us. So we are starting phase 2. We had a meeting last Friday. We're in beta testing now. It looks great. Families, in probably 2 weeks, we'll be able to send you a link so you can help us kind of develop, kind of fine-tune some of the final steps on it. Dietitians in the room, we would love for you to take a look at it as well. You knew Deb's standards and also Melanie Gillingham's standards. One of the reasons, well, there's 2 reasons. This is a great tool for research. It's also a great tool for our families. But another thing is this is a sustainability tool for NUCDF. This will be a revenue stream for us and something that will allow us to continue the work that we do in a way that is organic. And that's the reason why Deb would be super, super happy. I did not put this in any of our programs. I wanted to kind of focus on Deb, and I wanted to focus on this app. So this is for Deb, and this is for Cindy. And then I just have a few pictures. The Deb on the left, that's the Deb I remember. Always kind of Cindy's sidekick when it came to conferences. And that Deb on the left is also Deb. That's the one I remember as well. Every child would run down the hall and with their arms wide open to get a hug from Deb. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to Amanda.
Okay. The things that I'll miss about Deb is the impact she had on our whole community, her wonderful presentations that were always so interesting because she was so excited about everything. You know, the way she would focus and get really excited about trying to accommodate different ethnicities, you know, regarding staying compliant with a diet. And, you know, she would love to try different recipes and things like that. And then the funniest thing she would always talk about is trying to explain to families how they can't put a jalapeno pepper in a G-tube. And she was just amazing like that because she always wanted to please every family member and keep them healthy in that process. One of the most useful things when you talk about the formula and her teaching tricks about how to make it easier and so the child gets all the nutrition and all the aminos is the tool that I'll never forget, and I've used it every day for 26 years now, is how to make formula without getting foam. And she was amazing with that. And if any of you don't know, it's you put the liquid in, get it blending, then slowly add any kind of powder, and then it's perfect formula at the end with no foam. And that is invaluable that she taught me that. I got to know her really well on a personal level. We have, every year up until COVID, we've had the Cure the Cycle ride in Napa. And she was a great cyclist, amazing. She would do the 100-mile rides where my friend and I would do the 65 and barely hang on. But she was going up mountains and had tons of energy when she was done with that. But one particular year, she decided to take it easy and ride with us for a leisurely 65-mile ride. And she was probably about 100 yards up ahead of us. And I'm in line and my friend is behind me. And she starts aggressively pointing towards Mum Winery. And I'm like, no, we're at the 55-mile mark. We have 10 more miles to go. And she's like, yeah, like starting to go into the driveway. And then she pulls out of the back of her cycling pocket, I've got cash, it's on me, let's go. I'm like, Deb, only she could have champagne and then get on the bike and ride 10 more miles and finish it. But that was Deb. And then another really fun memory I have of her, and it speaks of how amazing she was in her zest for life and her passion for traveling. We had another routine the day after the ride. Cindy and Tony and Deb and I and my friend Sharon, who participated every year, we went to a spa and we would have massage and meet for lunch. And this was our routine every time. We had talked to her in the morning. She went to the spa. We did all that. We go to meet at the restaurant, and everybody's there but Deb. I asked Cindy, where's Deb? Oh, she took a shower and went to the airport and is on her way to Paris. Like, what? But that was Deb, and you have to love her. Just, she was passionate like that, and, loved to just live life to the fullest, and I'm going to miss her dearly, and so will I know the rest of us.